All right, you know what? Let's go down to Jussie Smollett.
Jussie Smollett.
Jussie Smollett. Let's go down to Jussie. Yeah, we remember a few years ago, I think it was in 2019, there was an attack that happened, allegedly, right? Because we ain't seen nothing. An alleged attack that happened on him, where he was Jussie Smollett, actor Jussie Smollett from Empire, known for his role in Empire, where he was attacked. He was taken. There was a ransom. There was a note. It was the whole nines. And then it was revealed that he did it all himself. It was planned and allegedly because he wasn't getting enough money. Now, the way that he played himself was when he called himself the gay Tupac, being freed from the people who took him. The man went to go perform. The man called himself the gay Tupac, all of this stuff, only to have planned this whole thing himself. Now, there were many jokes that were made about it. There was so much that was made about it. We joked about it, him planning it himself. People said, all these different things that surrounded that case. But it was to me, it was hurtful for me for the LGBTQIA community, because he did that in the name of saying, he was abused because of him being gay, and he is the gay Tupac. He is risen, all kinds of that. I'm like, don't do that. You just allegedly wanted more money or whatever was going on personally in your life, and you planned this whole thing. When people are getting taken for ransom, there are people who are, these things are happening in the world, and to play with your life because of whatever you were feeling in that moment, to me was very, very ridiculous. But Jussie Smollett, and this is the update with this court case, the jury selection began in the actor's trial. The actor is accused of staging an attack on himself, but most recently, and this is an update I just saw this morning, they picked one black juror in his case so far. And the only reason I think that we want to bring this up is because we've been... Go ahead.
The case actually already started. So the clip we have is basically the story if you want it, but the witnesses and the opening arguments and everything has already. It's actually, I think it's in day 2 now, day 2 or day 3, and the brothers that claim that they were hired and rehearsed with him are expected to possibly testify as well.
Yeah,
I was just about to ask what happened to what happened to them.
The Nigerian brothers.
They're not being charged.
There's a lot.
Wow.
There's a lot going on.
They're testifying for the prosecution.
Okay. Okay. So, but with all that being said, let's take a look at what's going on so far with the case. Let's play the clip.
This was actor Jussie Smollett in 2019, celebrating after prosecutors made the controversial decision to drop criminal charges against him, instead ordering him to perform community service.
I've been truthful and consistent on every single level since day one.
That agreement later overruled after a special prosecutor reinvestigated the case and found abuse of discretion and operational failures by the Cook County State's attorney. In February 2020, a new grand jury indicted Smollett on 6 felony disorderly conduct charges for lying to police. The bizarre case began on a cold night in Chicago. Smollett told police he was coming home from Subway around 2 a.m. when he says 2 men attacked him while yelling racist and homophobic slurs, threw bleach on him, and put a noose around his neck.
Do you want to take it off or anything?
Yeah, I do. I just wanted y'all to see.
But after putting hundreds of hours into investigating the case, police say Smollett's alleged attackers were 2 brothers from Nigeria that Smollett paid $3,500 to stage the attack.
So what's going on here? Am I being arrested?
The Osundaro brothers have expressed regret for their part in the alleged scheme and are expected to testify for the prosecution. They have not been charged with a crime. Over the summer, Smollett's attorney accused the special prosecutor of political motives, writing in a statement, "Mr. Smollett is innocent of these charges, and now we are focused on moving forward to trial."
Now, legal experts tell NBC News that Smollett faces a maximum of 3 years in prison if convicted, but it's more likely that he would be sentenced to probation because he does have a clean record. Cameras are not allowed in the courtroom.
Cameras aren't allowed in the courtroom because we know Jussie's going to say a lot of BS, as you've been saying. The man literally disappeared from the face of the earth because he knew he was wrong. He disappeared from the face of the earth. Y'all, people were putting up, Lee Daniels put up a video of him FaceTiming Jussie, and Jussie having the marks on his face, and everybody saying, we're covering him, we're praying for him. The pastors of every church were praying for him and what happened, and saying, it doesn't, regardless of who he is or what he believes or his sexuality, because they believe that it was part of him being gay and things like that. That's why they took him and those kind of things. He needs to be covered. Then people from all walks of life really were coming into this conversation to protect him, only to find out. And the next day, I think it was after he was released, the man act like he just came out of the hospital, got on stage to perform, and said that I am the gay Tupac. They can't hold me back. They try to hold me down. And that wasn't, and to know that he planned it all himself. How do you live with this? You put a lot of people's lives in danger. You put a group of people, all these different things that you did. It's ridiculous. And that's why he won't want anybody in the courtroom. And that's why, but here, even in this case though, you did all of this and planned it all by yourself when these things are really happening in life. Do you guys think that probation is something that should be what he gets? That is a fitting, that's fitting for him to get probation.
This noose around his neck is taking me out. He put this fake
will be a questionable.
Did you see the rope?
It was the black face. It was the people in the car. It was
right.
It was them purchasing it at the store on camera. It was all of that. It was these Nigerian brothers supposedly being gay, not gay, all these different conversations that were happening. It was where was the storyline? Did y'all come up with it good enough? Because we're not. It's a joke.
All of this for clout.
I would be curious to see what he testifies and what he says, because him and his family actually spoke yesterday to the press, I think, continue to claim that I guess they're lying, the brothers, and that he was attacked. He's at least been consistent again about his story, regardless of what actually happened. But yeah, no, it's as far as the probation, Rebecca, I mean, this might be a controversial take, but he's not a danger to society, so I don't see why it would be a service to society to put him in jail. Jail's already problematic in a lot of different ways, the way we utilize incarceration, but I just feel like it doesn't serve a purpose to put him away.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then that $3,500 check, they claim it's for, it was for personal training. And I'm just it just still doesn't answer, it doesn't add up right. And were the Nigerian brothers, okay, so if that check was for personal training, right? And let's say that they did attack him, but who had the MAGA hat and who had all this extra stuff where all of this came from, and it showed you purchasing all of this? It's just a lot. And then there was phone calls after everything happened, if I'm not mistaken, right? Didn't they reach out to each other or something like that?
Yeah, so dumb. Now, people with money do dumb stuff like that. It's just dumb.
Right.
But I say this because I know me and David were having a conversation about it. I think if we would be remiss if we didn't cover these different cases, because I know we're going to cover the white cases. We're going to cover, we're going to do that. And people who should be behind bars. We're going to do that. But in this case as well, it's just funny. The abuse of the system that people with money do as well. Just because you didn't get your way, you throw a tantrum and you make it seem like to get more popularity and clout, you really put people's lives in danger, especially making it seem like this particular marginalized group was attacked in this place and this and that. You can't play with people's lives like that. You can't do that.
And then trying to put it on... I appreciate what he was trying to do, but bro, god damn it, you got to plan better than that, man. Damn,
it's crazy.
You're trying to say it was MAGA,
it was my. And then you wanted. It was you doing a show directly after for me.